Welcome back to the channel. My name is Steven. I'm a pharmacist and I own 52 units of real estate. So I had a great question in the comments. It was a long comment, but I want to answer it because I had so many great points. So basically, they're asking, I was wondering about the reception of locals, real estate agents, contractors, even neighbors when I'm buying out of state, right? So what that's referring to is I'm based in California and I own single family homes in Alabama. I own apartment complexes in Oklahoma. And how do those people receive the fact that I'm buying property in Oklahoma when I'm out of state, right? And to be honest, and on top of that, right, I'm Asian American. I'm buying real estate in markets that are predominantly white, right? Not many Asians there. And that's kind of a limiting belief because of the cultural differences. And to kind of give a quick answer, like, to be honest, I didn't even think about that when I was buying real estate out of state. I wasn't thinking about, oh, what would the real estate agents say, what would the contractors say, what would the neighbors say if an Asian American or someone out of state is owning property in their state. Like, to be honest, no one even knows, right? Like, literally, um, real estate agents, right? So for Alabama, I bought my single family home using a real estate agent. And my Oklahoma properties, I'd even use an agent because most agents are terrible and they don't bring you good deals anyways, right? So, like, why does it matter? And real estate agents, all they care about is can they sell a home and get commission? Like, they don't care if you're in state, out of state, whatever race you are, whatever you identify as, they don't care. Like, real estate agents, they only care if you can close so that they get commission, right? So that's plain and simple. Like, my real estate agent didn't care that I was out of state. They didn't care that I was Asian. They didn't care about any of that. They just cared that can he buy the property, right? If so, they get their commission, right? Contractors, once again, I've dealt with contractors in Alabama. I've dealt with contractors in Oklahoma, and I talk to them on the phone predominantly, right? And once again, they don't. I'm not sure if they even know that I'm Asian. Like, I talk to them on the phone. Usually, I've been referred to them, or my property manager is my contractor, and I never met these people in person. I just talked to them on the phone, and I don't think they even know that I'm Asian or they know I'm out of state. But I just talk to them as if it's normal, right? Like, at the end of the day, I'm paying these people, right? I'm paying these contractors. So of course they're not going to care like what I am. They just care that I'm paying them and I'm giving them work, right? And as long as they continue to do good work and they're timely and cost effective and they're easy to work with, then I'll give them more business as I buy more real estate, right? Neighbors, I don't even know who my neighbors are, right? I don't know who owns the apartment complex next door. I don't know who owns the single family next door. I don't think they even know who owns it if I own it, right? Like, they just know that a tenant lives in there. And like, for my Alabama single family home, tenants live in there. They know the tenant. They don't know who owns it. They know it's a rental, right? Like, if they look it up, it's my LLC that owns it, and they don't. Maybe they can find me that as the owner, but I don't think they care, right? As long as the neighbor, the tenant's there, it's okay, fine, right? For apartments, usually when you buy apartments, you have other apartments. I don't know who owns the apartment next door. I don't think they know who owns there. Like, even when I bought my Oklahoma property, I was doing due diligence, right? I was at this property and I met the owner, and he was a 60-year-old white guy. I'm like a 30-year-old Asian guy. He didn't care, right? Like, I was buying his property, I was making his life easier. I communicated timely, on time. I was transparent. I was easy to work with. He was easy to work with. There you go, right? Like, he doesn't care. Like, if they do care, then you're probably not gonna buy their property, right? Like, don't get me wrong. I send out some mailers, and people call me saying, "Oh, screw you, you're from California. I don't sell to Californians." Then move on. There's a lot of properties out there, right? They're probably weren't a serious seller anyways. Maybe they're just some angry person, right? I don't know, right? Like, you just move on, and move on to the next, right? So, like, I never once really thought about, like, discrimination, cultural differences. Like, to me, real estate's a business, right? Like, especially at the level I'm at, right? Like, multifamily, you treat it like a business, right? Like, I don't care who I'm buying from. If the deal makes sense, I'm buying at a right price, it's reasonable, and I have the ability to raise rents, then I'll buy it, right? That's it. I don't care who the owner is. Hopefully, they're easy to work with, right? And hopefully, they're honest and truthful. So, I take that back. As long as they're, like, decent, honest, transparent, easy to work with, not shady, I'm happy to work with them, right? If they're shady, regardless of what race or what culture, I don't want to work with them, right? So I think it's just a limiting belief, right? Like people when buying real estate, you can give 1,000 reasons why you shouldn't buy real estate, right? Like, oh, tenants cannot pay you. There's damages. It's expensive. You don't make money. Whatever reason you give yourself to make yourself feel good. Um, it is what it is, right? Like, when you buy real estate or any investment, there's pros and cons to everything, right? There's pros and cons to real estate. There's pros and cons to stocks. There's pros and cons to short-term rentals. There's pros and cons to mid-term rentals. There's pros and cons in long-term rental. It's just a matter what pros can you deal with and what cons can you deal with over a long period of time. That's literally it. I just chose Oklahoma multifamily. I just chose Alabama single-family homes. I just chose California single-family homes. There's pros and cons to each, right? But can I sustain it for the rest of my life? Yes, right? So I don't overthink it, right? Like literally, stop overthinking. Stop like just take action, right? And if you're an overthinker, then maybe real estate's not the best asset class for you, right? So it's okay, right? Like you can make wealth many different ways. You can make wealth through stocks. You can make wealth through real estate. You can make wealth through business, right? I'm trying all three, and most of my wealth was built through real estate, so I'm gonna continue to do that, right? So like, don't sweat that small stuff. Like, if that's holding you back, then don't buy real estate. Like, just do something else. There's other ways to make money. You don't have to do real estate. Like I've done well with real estate. That's why I share my journey. Obviously, I made $5 million in net worth through real estate by 34, $6 million net worth total, working full time. Like, it's amazing. That's the quote unquote American dream, right? Basically, my parents came here of nothing and gave me an opportunity to build a $6 million net worth, which surpasses my parents by age 34, because I'm in this land of opportunity, right? Like, I feel very privileged to have been born here. Despite what you see and what you hear from other people, I'm like, there's so much opportunity here. Like, it's yours for the taking. It doesn't matter. Are you willing to push yourself to get there, right? If the answer is no, then that's okay, right? So, like I said, like I don't really think much about what real estate agents say, because I don't care what they say, because if they bring me a good deal and I buy the deal, they get paid. Plain and simple. Contractors, I don't care what race they are. They don't care what race I am. If I pay them to do a job and they do a good job, great. If they do a bad job, then I won't work with them again. If they do a good job, I'll give them more business. If it's a bad job, probably that's it, right? I'm not going to work with them again. Neighbors, I don't even know who the neighbors are. Like, we're in a day and age where you don't really know who your neighbors are, right? Like, you just, even where you live, like, you don't really know who your neighbors are. It doesn't matter, right? Like, I'm not, I run the apartment complex with a property manager. They probably see my property manager more than me. So I'm not even talking to like the neighbors or the tenants. It's my property manager. I talk to my property manager, right? So like, they just see my property manager who happens to be white. They don't see me, who's Asian, behind the scenes, who I own the property. But the property manager reports to me, right? Because I pay the money, I pay the bills, and they're managing my asset, right? So never really explored that. So if that's an limiting belief, then remove that. That's just a mental roadblock. Um, Obviously, any issues, like you said, like I've sent out mailers, and they see my last name Nguyen, it's obviously Vietnamese, and they might give you some racial slurs and they're racist, whatever, right? Like, then they're not a serious seller. Then move on, right? Like, whatever, like, as you go on your wealth building journey, you get a lot of haters, right? Like, a lot of people just hate you because they see your success, and it makes them feel bad about themselves. So to protect their own egos, they want to shit on you. That's very common. And this could be your friends, right? Like, who you thought were your friends. This could be your family, who you thought would be on your side. But no, like, by seeing your success and seeing you succeed, it makes them feel bad, but they don't see all the work that you put in behind the scenes, right? Like, people just see I've built up a $6 million net worth, but you don't know the 13 years that I've been, grinding behind the scenes, living humbly, self-educating, going through ups and downs, right? Like, there's a lot that goes into building a $6 million net worth to getting 52 units while working full time. Like, people don't see all the grind I've done, right? Like, it's not easy, which is why I'm pretty transparent on my channel. Like, it's not easy, and it takes time to compound. It takes discipline, it takes consistency, and it takes getting punched in the face a lot of times, right? So a lot of people aren't willing to do that. It takes risk of buying out of state, right? Like, I bought a mobile home park, lost money. I invested in businesses, I lost money. I bought real estate in other areas that done well and made money, right? So you have to take risk. So um, that's what it is. So hopefully this destroys your limiting belief and gets you to buy out of state real estate if it makes sense, right? Like by all means, I would love to invest in California in my backyard, but it's more of an appreciation market. If I want cash flow, I had to leave California to invest out of state, right? So that's the risk I'm taking, right? I want more cash flow, but I'm taking the risk of going out of state and relying on property manager and relying on boots on the ground to give me guidance. So, anyways, if you're looking to buy your first multifamily deal and you want some guidance, check out the mentorship program link down below. Um, Please let me know any questions. Please like, comment, subscribe, share this video with somebody who can benefit from hearing this. And I love to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much.